Today, we're going to take you on an unforgettable journey through the heart of Mongolia, a country full of rich traditions, dramatic landscapes, and a complex history that spans centuries. You might already know a little about this fascinating nation, but by the end of this video, you'll uncover stories and facts that might just surprise you. Trust me, one of the last facts we discuss is something you won't want to miss. Before we dive into today's exciting adventure, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on any future journeys through the world's most remarkable cultures. Mongolia is a land of contrast, where ancient traditions live alongside modern challenges. Its history, steeped in conquests and legends, makes it a truly unique place. From the ancient Mongol Empire to the nomadic lifestyle that still defines much of the country, we'll explore the fascinating aspects of this incredible nation, starting with its customs and traditions that have been shaped by centuries of history. So, get ready to discover Mongolia's best-kept secrets. Let's begin. 10. The unique Mongolian marriage customs. In Mongolia, marriage traditions are rooted in both history and practicality, shaped by the country's nomadic lifestyle. In the past, marriages were often seen as strategic alliances between families, designed to strengthen political or economic ties. The bond formed in these unions wasn't just between the bride and groom, but between the two families. The concept of bride price is a custom that continues to this day, where the groom's family is expected to provide gifts or compensation to the bride's family in exchange for her hand in marriage. One of the most notable aspects of traditional Mongolian marriages was the role of the parents. Marriage decisions were often arranged by the parents, and their approval was crucial. This practice served not only as a way to ensure social stability, but also to keep families united and their wealth within certain tribes or noble classes. It was a way to maintain power and keep control over resources, especially in a society where power and status were often closely tied to family lineage. Additionally, while arranged marriages were common, the influence of modern times has made room for love-based marriages. Today, especially in urban areas like Ulaanbaatar, more couples are choosing to marry based on love rather than familial or social expectations. However, the traditional customs still hold a significant place in rural Mongolia, where the older generation's views on marriage continue to shape social life. 9. The Mongolian shamanistic beliefs. Before Buddhism took root in Mongolia, the people practiced a form of animism and shamanism, which continue to have a strong presence in the country today. Mongolian shamanism is centered around the belief in spirits and the forces of nature, which are thought to influence human life. Shamans, or spiritual leaders, were believed to possess the ability to communicate with the spirit world and heal physical or spiritual ailments. Rituals and ceremonies performed by shamans are integral to Mongolian culture, especially when it comes to major life events such as births, marriages, and deaths. Shamans conduct ceremonies to honor spirits, ask for blessings, and ensure the prosperity of the people. These rituals often involve chanting, drumming, and dancing, and are held in sacred places such as mountains, lakes, or forests, which are considered to be inhabited by spirits. Despite the rise of Buddhism, shamanism remains a prominent feature of Mongolian spirituality, particularly in rural areas. Many Mongolians still seek out shamans for spiritual guidance or healing, and shamanistic practices are a vital part of the cultural heritage. This mixture of old and new traditions is one of the things that makes Mongolia such a fascinating and dynamic place. 8. The Mongol Empire's impact on global history. Mongolia's history is forever defined by the rise of the Mongol Empire in the 13th century. Founded by Genghis Khan, the empire stretched from the heart of Asia all the way to Eastern Europe, making it the largest contiguous empire in history. This empire not only reshaped the political and social structures of the time, but also influenced the development of global trade and communication. Genghis Khan's military genius and strategic brilliance allowed him to conquer vast territories, and his policies of tolerance, meritocracy, and innovation in military tactics ensured the empire's success. One of the most significant contributions of the Mongol Empire was the establishment of the Silk Road, a network of trade routes that connected the East to the West, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. Through the Mongol Empire, many of the world's greatest civilizations were brought into contact. Europe, Asia, and the Middle East all felt the influence of Mongol rule, as trade and cultural exchange flourished under the empire's stability. Genghis Khan's impact on the world can still be seen today, not only in historical records but also in the genetic legacy he left behind. As many as 16 million men across Eurasia could potentially share a direct genetic link to the great conqueror, a fascinating reminder of the lasting legacy of the Mongol Empire. 7. Mongolia's extreme climate and stunning landscapes. Mongolia is a country known for its extreme climate, with temperatures ranging from scorching summers to bitterly cold winters. The country's climate can be as dramatic as its history. Situated far from any oceans, Mongolia experiences what is known as a continental climate, meaning that temperature fluctuations between summer and winter are particularly extreme. In the summer months, temperatures in the capital, Ulaanbaatar, can soar to over 90 degrees Fahrenheit 32 degrees Celsius, while in winter, they can plunge to well below freezing, with temperatures as low as -40 degrees Fahrenheit -40 degrees Celsius. This stark contrast in weather conditions has shaped the lifestyle of the Mongolian people, especially those who continue to live in traditional yurts on the vast, windswept steppes. But despite its harsh climate, Mongolia is home to some of the most beautiful and diverse landscapes on Earth. The country is home to the vast Gobi Desert, with its rolling sand dunes and rocky formations, as well as stunning mountain ranges, such as the Altai Mountains, that provide a stark contrast to the barren desert landscape. Mongolia also boasts lush forests in the north and crystal-clear lakes like Lake Kafskal, often referred to as the Blue Pearl of Mongolia. These varied landscapes are home to a rich array of wildlife, including snow leopards, wild horses, and over 200 species of birds, making it a paradise for nature enthusiasts and photographers alike. 6. The legacy of Genghis Khan's descendants. The influence of Genghis Khan extends far beyond his lifetime, leaving an indelible mark not only on history but also on the genetic legacy of millions of people across Eurasia. Studies have shown that around 16 million men today share a genetic marker that traces back to Genghis Khan himself. This discovery, made through genetic research in 2003, points to the incredible number of descendants that the Mongol leader fathered, contributing to a gene pool that stretches across a large part of the world. The reason behind Genghis Khan's extensive descendants lies in his many marriages and relationships throughout his life. He reportedly had numerous wives and concubines, a practice that was common among Mongol rulers who sought to solidify political power and expand their influence through alliances. His progeny, in turn, played pivotal roles in maintaining and expanding the Mongol Empire after his death, with many of his sons and grandsons ruling vast territories across Asia and Europe. The legacy of Genghis Khan is not just political or military but also genetic, with his descendants contributing to the genetic diversity of a large portion of the Eurasian population. The vastness of his empire, paired with the practice of taking wives from conquered regions, ensured that his genetic legacy was spread far and wide. This continuing legacy is a reminder of the extraordinary reach of the Mongol Empire and its impact on the course of world history. 5. Gender roles in Mongolia. In traditional Mongolian society, gender roles have been clearly defined, particularly within the context of the nomadic lifestyle. Mongolian men were often tasked with physically demanding work, such as herding livestock, hunting, and building yurts. These tasks required strength and endurance, making men the primary breadwinners and protectors of the family. On the other hand, women were responsible for domestic duties, including caring for children, preparing food, and managing household chores. However, these roles were not rigid, and the division of labor was often seen as complementary. For example, while men took on tasks related to the outdoor and physical aspects of life, women contributed significantly to the maintenance and organization of the household and the family unit. The nomadic lifestyle also meant that women were often called upon to help with animal husbandry and even participate in tasks such as milking cows or sheep, which were critical for the family's survival. Today, gender roles in Mongolia are gradually evolving, especially in urban areas like Ulaanbaatar. Women are increasingly entering the workforce in a wide range of fields, including business, education, and government. In the capital, women can be found in positions of leadership, demonstrating that gender equality is gaining ground in Mongolia. However, in more rural areas, traditional gender roles remain deeply entrenched, and women still predominantly focus on the care of the home and children. Despite these evolving dynamics, the strength of women in Mongolian society has never been in question. Women have always played an integral role in the family and community, and their contributions continue to shape the fabric of Mongolian society today. For Mongolia's complex social structures, Mongolian society, particularly in its historical context, has been highly stratified, with a clear distinction between different social classes. In ancient Mongolia, the nobility and aristocratic leaders held considerable power, often living in fortified homes or palaces and wielding political influence. These leaders were responsible for governing the various tribes, and they frequently used their marriages to solidify political alliances and maintain their status. At the same time, the common people, particularly the nomadic herders, lived a more humble life, constantly on the move with their livestock. The disparity in wealth and status between these groups was significant, with aristocrats enjoying a life of luxury, while the lower classes focused on survival in a harsh environment. However, within this rigid structure, there was still room for mobility. Successful warriors, traders, or skilled herders could rise in status, gaining wealth and influence within their tribe. The Mongol Empire was a place where social mobility was possible, but it was often determined by military success or the accumulation of resources. In the capital and larger towns, especially in modern Mongolia, these class distinctions have lessened. Yet, in rural areas, the traditional roles and social hierarchy still persist to a certain degree, reflecting the deep cultural roots that continue to shape Mongolian society today. 3. The deep connection between Mongols and animals. The Mongolian relationship with animals is not just practical, but also deeply spiritual. For centuries, animals have been at the heart of Mongolian life, providing sustenance, transportation, and cultural significance. The herding of livestock is an essential part of the Mongolian way of life, with horses, sheep, goats, and camels being among the most important animals. The horse, in particular, holds a special place in Mongolian culture. Mongols are famous for their horsemanship, and the horse has become a symbol of the nation's spirit, strength, and freedom. It's no surprise that Mongolia is one of the few places in the world where the horse plays such a central role in everyday life. Horses are used for herding, transportation, and even in competitions during national festivals. Mongolian children learn to ride horses at an early age, and horsemanship is a source of pride and tradition. But the bond between Mongols and animals goes beyond mere utility. Many animals hold symbolic value in Mongolian spirituality. For example, certain animals are believed to have special connections with the spirit world, and rituals often involve offerings to animals to ensure good health, prosperity, and success. There are even myths in Mongolian folklore where heroes are transformed into animals or are assisted by animals in their quests, illustrating the deep connection between humans and the natural world. Rituals associated with animals are also an important part of Mongolian culture. For instance, during certain festivals, animals are sacrificed in ceremonies designed to invoke blessings from the gods. These practices underscore the belief that animals are not just tools for survival but integral parts of the spiritual and cultural fabric of Mongolia. 2. The rise of Buddhism in Mongolia. Buddhism was introduced to Mongolia in the 16th century, primarily through the influence of Tibetan Buddhism. While Mongolia has long had roots in shamanism and animism, the arrival of Buddhism brought significant changes to the spiritual landscape of the country. Buddhism spread quickly, largely due to the support of powerful Mongol leaders who saw the religion as a means to unify their people and provide a more organized system of belief. One of the most important figures in the spread of Buddhism in Mongolia was the fifth Dalai Lama, who formed a strong relationship with the Mongol rulers. This partnership helped to establish Buddhism as the dominant religion in the country, with many temples and monasteries being built throughout the region. Today, Buddhism continues to play a central role in Mongolian life, with major festivals and rituals taking place throughout the year. The Gondan Monastery in Ulaanbaatar is one of the largest and most important Buddhist centers in Mongolia, It houses a massive statue of Avalokitesvara, a bodhisattva associated with compassion. This towering figure, standing 26.5 meters tall, is an impressive symbol of the strength of Mongolian Buddhism. Buddhist monks continue to maintain the temple, leading rituals and offering prayers for peace, prosperity, and harmony. Buddhism in Mongolia not only influences the religious practices of the people, but also plays a significant role in shaping cultural norms and values. The teachings of Buddhism, with their emphasis on compassion, mindfulness, and respect for life, align closely with the traditional Mongolian values of harmony with nature and respect for the land and its creatures. 1. Mongolia's modern-day challenges. Despite its rich cultural heritage, Mongolia faces several modern challenges, many of which stem from its rapid transition from a Soviet-influenced communist state to a more market-oriented economy. The 1990s marked a period of dramatic change, as the country embraced democratic reforms and market liberalization. While these changes brought about increased freedom and new opportunities, they also introduced challenges, including economic inequality, environmental degradation, and a growing divide between rural and urban populations. Ulaanbaatar, the capital, is the largest city in Mongolia and has become a major center of political, cultural, and economic activity. However, the city also faces significant problems, such as air pollution and the strain on infrastructure due to rapid urbanization. Over 45% of the country's population now lives in Ulaanbaatar, many of whom have migrated from rural areas in search of better opportunities. This shift has placed enormous pressure on the city's resources and services, leading to overcrowded living conditions and increased environmental pollution. Additionally, Mongolia's economy remains heavily dependent on mining, particularly coal and copper, which has made the country vulnerable to fluctuations in global commodity prices. While mining has contributed significantly to economic growth, it has also led to environmental issues, such as deforestation, desertification, and water shortages. The government faces the difficult task of balancing economic development with environmental preservation, a challenge that is further complicated by the country's harsh climate and geographic isolation. The rural areas of Mongolia, where traditional nomadic herding still plays a crucial role, are also grappling with the effects of climate change. Droughts, harsh winters, and fluctuating temperatures have led to severe challenges for farmers and herders, particularly those in remote regions. The government has implemented various policies to support these communities, but many Mongolian families still struggle with poverty and lack of access to basic services. Mongolia, with its unique blend of ancient traditions and modern struggles, stands at a crossroads. The country has managed to preserve much of its rich cultural heritage, from the nomadic lifestyle to its spiritual beliefs, while also navigating the complexities of the 21st century. The transition from a Soviet-influenced system to a democratic and market-driven economy has opened up new possibilities, but has also created significant challenges, especially in terms of economic inequality and environmental issues. Yet, despite these challenges, Mongolia is a country that continues to evolve. The resilience of its people, the strength of their traditions, and the depth of their cultural roots will undoubtedly help them navigate the future. From the soaring peaks of the Altai Mountains to the vast stretches of the Gobi Desert, Mongolia's landscapes continue to inspire awe, and its rich history ensures that its story will remain one of the most captivating in the world. Now that you've discovered the fascinating history and current state of Mongolia, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What aspect of Mongolia's culture or history surprised you the most? Do you think the country can overcome the modern challenges it faces while preserving its traditions? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible content from World Marvels. Thank you for joining us on this adventure. Until next time, keep exploring, keep discovering, and never stop marveling at the world around you.